When the temperature drops, the danger rises. Massive drifts, slippery roads, and costly mistakes. Prepare for the freeze. Welcome to the world of Machine Universe.
Tam se javlja, gre. Te edini, ki sposobni za višino.
Mam ga, veš, kar slika.
Se naš parpena veliko balaha po kahu. Ja bosi še pa enkrat gor meta.
Winter just doesn't give anyone a break today. Nature really said copy and paste with those ice blocks today.
It's a lot easier to brush it off because then you get it all over away from you.
Just another average Tuesday morning for the most sane Honda Civic owner.
As you can see,
Back in the day, all the streets in Novosibirsk were cleaned with machines like this. Most efficient way to clear a path, hands down. Getting that perfect slide is the best part of the job, even if your heart skips a beat every time the ladder shakes. Hooking a line to a tractor turns a miserable chore into a quick, effective winter work hack. Great way to clear a massive roof without risking anyone's neck on a slippery ladder.
Small boxes.
That's a tractor fill.
Driving through these hills feels like a gamble when the snowpack reaches a breaking point. Avalanches can travel at 80 miles per hour, leaving drivers with no escape route. History shows us that large slides can pack enough force to flatten entire villages, much like the 1970 Ancash event that buried thousands under ice. Absolute legends. Valhalla isn't ready for this level of drip. Anyone want to see the part where the rope gets attached? Just part of the job in Xinjiang, I guess. It's a messy, cold business when the roof decided it's done with the snow.
Проверяем в деле. Чистим дорожки возле музея.
Looking at the D470, a beast from the late 1950s built on a ZIL 157 chassis. It runs a diesel around 1,190 cubic inches, mounted right behind the cab instead of under the hood. Running one in deep freeze with no heater is not for the faint of heart. Hydroplaning turns a heavy truck into a giant spinning top. It stopped just inches away from crushing that blue car completely. Pure luck. Winter in these parts really doesn't play around, does it? Not sure how they even find the path through all that white. Can't imagine the stress of trying to keep a multi-ton rig moving through a freezing river like that. Really puts a normal commute into perspective, for sure. Someone built a simple DIY tool here that actually gets the job done faster. It's a great example of using what's available to save your back.
Whoa! Sky cable's still intact.
Someone clearly skipped safety training. Guess they'll learn the hard way once that snow starts sliding down. Ever seen what 40,000 pounds of pure steel looks like in the North Dakota cold? Back in winter 2007, Jamestown got hit with 14 inches of snow. So the crew fired up this massive rig at Waste Truck Repair to clear the yard. It's basically a monster. He lost the car but kept his life, which is a win considering how fast that vehicle accelerated toward the drop-off. One rope pull versus 3 hours of shoveling. So smooth. Look at that mass creeping down the hillside. It's got enough power to flatten entire structures. And seeing them freeze up instead of driving away is giving me pure anxiety.
Go back!
Trying to navigate through a moving snowpack is just asking for a rescue mission. Number 470 smashes into that Windsor snowbank at 80 miles per hour, leaving nothing but a white cloud behind. It honestly feels like watching a ghost. Love seeing these garage-built solutions. Simple, cheap, and they save a back from a whole lot of pain. That Slagcraft reach system is what makes the Volvo L90G so versatile. It's paired with an L-Care HS2300 saw to manage those overgrown corridors. Since it's winter, the wood might be a bit more brittle, making it easier for those blades to snap through the heavy branches. Maybe the V shape is the secret to keeping traction here. Instead of pushing a wall of snow, it's just peeling it back. Seems like a smart way to deal with these remote, icy logging roads. Icy slopes like these are a nightmare. Even a heavy pickup starts skating when the road turns into a literal mirror.
Shit. Shit, shit, shit.
Для очистки снега с кровли. То есть она получается у нас
Eastern roof slopes catch the morning sun, melting and refreezing the snow into a solid shell. Standard flat edges won't bite into that, so this version uses a pointed front to gain traction. Notice how much force is needed, even with that shovel-like tip.
вот, как я уже сказал.
There it comes.
Some folks say untying the bottom helps, otherwise that snow looks like it's booking a direct flight to his face.
Yeah. There she be.
Yep, heavy.
The roof raiser.
It's a miracle nobody was sitting exactly where that heavy chunk landed. Real-life gear like Bale Hack 5012 makes toy train scales look impressive. The way it centers itself to rotate is just brilliant engineering for winter rail. Nagano winters always look like a dream, especially with that fresh, untouched snow everywhere. Clearing the roof seems like a never-ending chore, but the view from up there must be absolutely incredible. It's not driving anymore. It's basically figure skating, but with a V8 engine. Winter storms really leave behind some dangerous trophies. These frozen daggers look sharp enough to pierce right through just about anything in their path. Hard to believe anyone ignores a warning sign that specific. Yet here we are watching a car get buried alive. Ever seen a light truck handle 8 inches of heavy, wet snow? The Big Pig blower uses a Honda engine to throw that slush aside. making a dangerous winter road look clear and manageable in seconds. Roads like these are deceptive as hell. Everything looks wet and shiny, but there's a thin layer of ice underneath waiting to ruin your day. Luck was definitely on his side with no traffic. Those massive arch tires are doing some serious work. Sending respect to everyone dealing with this kind of winter. That is some serious dedication to home maintenance. Notice how planted that chassis stays while clearing Skyline Drive. Newer trucks often struggle with the sideways push, but the weight of these old Walter blades keeps the tires biting. It's a 1940s solution for 21st century storms. Imagine the force needed to smash wood like that. Freezing rain is a total nightmare for any owner, but honestly, peeling these sheets of ice off feels better than any therapy session. With 90 tons pressing down, you would expect more grip. However, the 25% incline in ice are neutralizing the weight, turning this into a slow battle between the traction system and the frozen ground. He loses the climb, panics, and chooses the only possible path to take out his entire friend group's bank accounts. That roof just lost about 500 pounds in 2 seconds. Welcome to a typical winter morning where the chore list starts 20 feet in the air. Well, that is one way to check if the driveway is icy. Welcome to a typical winter morning where the chore list starts 20 feet in the air. Well, that is one way to check if the driveway is icy. Spending $4,000 on a blower is a massive investment for any homeowner. While some prefer small tractors with heated cabs for comfort, this ATV setup offers versatility for those who already own a Polaris. It's about deciding if your back can handle the cold wind. Someone warned that if this beast gets stuck, you are not digging it out until spring. The physics seemed solid, but the execution was messy. You see them struggling with the rope toss for way too long. Even after cutting through the base, that snowpack just wouldn't budge. Sometimes the old school shovel is still king.
Но у него получился наклон, он не вертикальный.
Вот так вот чистить, значит, снег весь проходит, падает, вот так вот. Сейчас его так берет.
Using 8 meters of cheap plastic drainage pipe, he's clearing the roof from the ground. It looks sketchy, but staying off a slippery roof is always a win.
Труба Кукушкина скоро на всех строительных рынках, во всех.
So, roads are optional when you're driving one of these. This Ural is basically turning a frozen river into its own lane. No pavement, no problem. The ice is cracking everywhere, but he's just cruising. They're clearing it in sections for a reason. Taking off too much at once could cause an uncontrolled slide that takes the workers down with it. Black ice is the worst because you never see it coming. That articulated frame is doing all the work here. It's twisting and turning just to find a bit of grip under all that white mass. Without that pivot in the middle, it'd be stuck 10 yards back.
Die erste, ja? Wow! Woohoo!
This looks tricky to use. What do you think? Engineers designed these heat exchangers to handle massive volumes without freezing up. It's a simple combustion process inside a water bath. The real challenge is managing the runoff so you don't create an ice skating rink once the sun goes down.
1本720ミリリットル入りで通常4104円でのご提供。送料は500円ですが、定期コースでご注文いただくと500円の送料が無料になって、さらに初回限定 20% 引きの1本は自由3円になります。発行クロモへのお問い合わせは通話料無料のフリーダイヤル 0120。
Seeing black ice like ice on a skating rink makes me appreciate truckers delivering goods in these brutal conditions. Wondering if the insulation inside is failing, because ice buildup like that is usually a sign of heat escaping. Winter jobs are never easy. Appreciate you sticking around and don't forget to subscribe to Machine Universe.